welcome. We always talk about crowdfunding price versus retail price, right? But there's always speculation during the campaign. It's going to be X% off the MSRP. You're going to get this much of a discount. You know what? Let's take a look at the nuts and bolts of this, right? Let's go back to projects that have fulfilled, projects that were available during crowdfunding, what the difference between the crowdfunding and the retail was, and what the price point difference was, and now whether or not that difference is worth it, whether it stands up, or whether it was one of those whoops. Because we've all had those too, right? Let's do this. Now, this is a wide smattering, so stay with me here. First up, though, we're going to talk about Merchants of the Dark Road from Elf Creek Games. Relatively well thought of, got a ton of hype when it went to crowdfunding, raised nearly $500,000, 6,500 backers went in on this one. This was a deluxeified Euro-style game with a fantasy setting where you're a merchant and you're going around the little circle and you're going back and forth, gathering your goods, carrying them Diablo game style, and then trying to figure out what you want to do with things. The deluxe all-in was $125, got you coins, got you pouches, got you sleeves, and got you the deluxe edition. The deluxe edition got you a little bit of stretch goal content that will pull up right here. And as you can see, this is sort of what got unlocked, but how much of this is actually deluxe and exclusive down here? And that's sort of the thing you have to ask yourself for. Like, okay, a few new upgrades here, a few new adventures, a few promos, not a ton of stuff from that style of things. So how do we do this? So what are we going to do here? Well, let's go Board Game Geek, right? Because we have to say whether or not the game was good or not, because if the game wasn't good, right, the value obviously is not going to hold up. So I did not choose games, as a disclaimer here at the beginning, that were bad, right? That's an easy out. That's an easy, biased video. 7.5 rating on Board Game Geek is relatively good, right? Yeah, that's relatively good, especially when you've got 2,400 rankings. And so when you go, though, to the page, look at this graph right here. You can see when the hype the FOMO was delivering, really prices all over the place. But you can see overall the general trend is down right now. And you can see that these deluxe pledge levels right here, 90 euros, 90 US dollars. This Swiss one right here, 69 euros. Again, that's the deluxe version of things. So when you go back over here, deluxe, $74, 74 versus 69 euros. That's not bad. But you start getting some of these other ones, like more recently, just at the end of November, like 4 months ago, you have a game here for the deluxe edition sold for $50, including the Patreon's provisions expansion with the deluxe edition. So now you go back over the crowdfunding page and you say, oh geez, $74, that's not great. Chris, you're cherry picking, right though? You're cherry picking. You know what? Okay, let's pick another one here. Let's pick the $45 one. Oh, that's a deluxe edition too. $45.74. Even if you say shipping is a wash, that's not insignificant. And the things that aren't being sold here, again, you have a $60 one right there. You have a $80 one. Those are the ones that aren't being sold. You have a 40-pound one right now that was just listed prior to me filming this. 40 pounds. That's a big difference, folks, for a $74 game. That's almost 100% of the game price. That's 85% of the game price that you're losing value on from that side of things. So that has to be of note, because when you get these deluxeified ones, this isn't even like the super deluxe, right? This isn't even the all-in with the sleeves, the coins, and the pouches. This is just the deluxeified version of things with a little extra that you're losing money on. The stuff that should be, the price saver, and it's not. That's why these deluxeified euros on crowdfunding, this is a prime example of completely hit or miss. Speaking of deluxeifications, though, let's talk about Radlands. Amazing game. No one is disputing that. Is it a good value, though? Does it hold up? You can see right now, at the time of me filming this, you can get deluxe for $40. You can get $60 for the super deluxe, and you can pick it up for about 18 bucks for just the standard retail edition. How does that compare? Well, let's go to the crowdfunding. Deluxe edition, 50 Canadian dollars. That is about 40 US dollars at the time of the campaign. It's $38 now. So that's really good, actually. Roxley, okay. That stands up. But if you don't want any of the deluxeifications and you want to just pick up a copy of the regular base game without anything like that, it's still going to cost you 50% less. If you get on Amazon, even less than that. That's the other thing you have to consider. How much of these deluxeifications, and that's a theme of this video, folks. These deluxifications are all over the place. This one has held its value very nicely. Some of the others, not as much. Again, not cherry picking bad games here, cherry picking good games that you still have to keep your eye on. Let's talk about another one here, Caper Europe. One of the better ranking two-player head-to-head duel type games of probably the last 2 or 3 years. I'll make the argument for, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. When you go over to Board Game Geek here, 7.8 rating with 2,300 ratings. It's ranked in the top 700 games on Board Game Geek, only coming out within the last year or so. That's impressive. That's a good game, folks. If you don't know how to interpret that, that's a good freaking game. Now, this is also why Board Game Geek is a little bit all over the place right here, right? The most recently listed one was $49. Doesn't say if it's the retail or the deluxe edition, but some of these down here, the Kickstarter editions, are going for $55 as well right there. So let's just go over the crowdfunding page here and take a look. Okay, let's go back here. $39, okay. The Deluxified Mastermind Edition Kickstarter exclusive here, though. And if that's true, you're looking at a $39 pledge versus that $50 pledge. But let's go back and look at actually the price history of this. And when it came out, you can see again, the trend is FOMO, FOMO, FOMO. But as you get further and further out, now a year out or so, now what are we looking at here? We're looking at 35, and those are the Kickstarter prices, I'm imagining 40, but a lot of those are overseas. You have this $25 one, for example. There you go. You've got it more sitting around the $25 to $30 range on the secondary market for the retail price of things. And, let's go back over to this page and look and see, what did you get for this $40 pledge? You got a golden insert, you got metal coins, and you got some little bit of deluxifications with some numbering. So $40 for that. And if you want to go pick it up at retail right now, you go over to Board Game Oracle. You're looking at about a $32 pledge here, plus or minus $35, $15 to $20, depending on where you get it from. And that's if you're getting it new. If you buy it on the secondary market, you can get $20 to $25 potentially. So $15 to $25 difference are the deluxifications, are coins, and an insert worth $15 to $20 of your money. I'll let you decide on this one, but as a 2-player small box game, that's a bigger price point difference on a small box game sometimes than, I care to like, if you will. Now, let's go something different, right? Let's go to Carnegie, the Deluxe Edition. Deluxe Edition for Carnegie, one of the best Euro-style games of 2022, almost €500,000. The deluxe version 65 at price point during the campaign. You go over to their website right now, it's going to cost you $99. What is the deluxe getting you though? It's getting you a couple mini expansions and a little bit of actual gameplay content along with the deluxifications. So it wasn't just deluxifications in this case. Now it's these little action cards here, the mini expansion, a notepad, how you're going to have some asymmetric starting positions and a game tray. Okay, I'll give it to you there. Now let's go to retail here. Retail though is going to cost you $50. $50 for the retail. Now the mini expansion isn't available at retail, but is a mini expansion with some slight deluxifications worth, $20 to $25 again? And I guess the question is, how much content does this actually give? How much in comparison? And I would argue not necessarily a whole lot, but this one's for solo mode only, and some sleeves. And then this little expansion right here. Is that worth $25? Or is it worth you getting just $50 here at retail? And if you go over to Board Game Geek, again, you can pick up a copy for $40 right now. So half the price. Is that worth $40 worth of content? Again, even for one of the best games, I'm going to make the argument that no, because promo content you don't use, folks. The vast majority of promo content and expansion content you don't use from crowdfunding. I'll put that out there. I am a product of that. I'm speaking from my own personal experiences, and that's where I'm coming from because I know myself. And I'll make the argument that for me, FOMO-wise, yes. Actual gameplay-wise, no. Two more here. Now we have Super Fantasy. Two more here. We have Super Fantasy Brawl, and this is from Mythic, and this one's sort of a wash. I'll be frank with you, very upfront here. $50 gets you 3 expansions from the second time around with some foils and sleeves. So foils and sleeves, right? Foils and sleeves, $50. Plus, I think $15 shipping if you scroll all the way to the bottom. So $65 for that. You go over and you find those 3 same expansions on Board Game Oracle. It's going to cost you about $51, $55 probably with tax. You get the free shipping, plus or minus. Obviously, it's going to be about $10 difference. That's actually not terribly bad, especially if you're not going to go for the free shipping. It's probably going to be a wash. A wash price-wise without the sleeves and the foils. Again, I can do without either of those, but that's sort of the interesting thing. I was not expecting that with this one when I looked up. I thought it would be much more in favor of the retail side of things, but it's relatively held up over the test of time here. Despite Mythic's other woes right now, the game is relatively well thought of as well. It's one of the better skirmish games that people like with more of an objective-based scenario rather than just a smash and grab. So that's really interesting. And, I wasn't, like I said, expecting it to be that comparable. Now, last one up here, we're going to talk about is Vivid Memories. You may remember this one from Floodgate Games, a tile drafting sort of complicated Azul situation with very, very colorful looking gems that you're going to be matching up and going back and forth of. Blows Azul out of the water. There's the quote, right? $50 for the deluxe edition with these monument tiles, with these moment tiles, limited exclusive own promo tiles, double layered boards, deluxe playmats, fragment tokens, upgraded stuff. There was no retail version available. It was $50 only. And so, I always like when they do one pledge level on the campaign, again, not a bad game. People just didn't really like it as much, it appears. So 6.7 rating on Board Game Geek. What's more concerning, though, is I don't even go over to Board Game Oracle. I go over to Amazon, and here's the deluxe edition for $35. And that's free shipping. Yeah, that's something that hasn't held up here. Now, you go online elsewhere. You actually have Tabletop Merchant here who's selling it for $15 flat rate. Shipping is still going to cost you $13, but that's going to be under $30. That's going to be Amazon's price as well. And Card House is going to be about $5. Game Nerds $5. So you're looking at $40 there. Eek. $40 for 50 plus shipping there. Ooh, boy. Yeah, that's not as good price point on these lower price point games. That's not as good differential ratio with these lower price point games as well. Again, it looks pretty. It's deluxe. Should hold its value, right? Well, and this had a little bit of gameplay content here with these aspiration tiles and helper cards, but not really a whole lot from that aspect. So not even getting the gameplay that a few of these other have that you could make at least somewhat of an argument from a gamer side of things like me, where that's all I appreciate. So interesting test there as well, because I remember that one when it came out, and that one looked really, really solid. So interesting twist there at the end. That's it. There you go. What do you think? Let me know some games you'd like to see me compare in the future. These were the ones that stuck out when I was skimming through things. So obviously we'll have some more. Obviously I can go one or the other because I'm not trying to just cherry pick, right? Because you can make the ones that are way over here, and the ones that have tons of exclusives are obviously going to hold their value. But these middle ones that you can kind of go either way on, it's interesting to look at a year or two later to see, okay, did it hold up? Do I want more? Do I need more? Did that more hold up? And could I sell that more for more, or can I sell that more for less? Again, not in this for the money, but it's always good to save $20 or $40 so that you can get something else, or just pay for the lighting to go on around you. So that's all I got. Stay classy. Thanks for watching. Tune in, subscribe. 10K giveaway. 10K giveaway. I'll get you excited right now. Little teaser there. I got nothing yet though. Companies, you want to reach out to me, do a 10K giveaway? 7K giveaway was a big popular one. So rambling here at the end. Have a great day. Tell your friends.